Afghanistan's new Taliban government announced on Sunday that women can continue to study in universities, including at postgraduate levels, but classrooms will be gender segregated and Islamic dress is required. The country's new higher education minister laid out the new policies several days after Afghanistan's new rulers formed an all male government. The world has been watching closely to see to what extent the Taliban might act differently from their first time in power in the late 1990s. During that era, girls and women were denied an education and were excluded from public life. The Taliban have suggested that they've changed, including in their attitudes towards women. However, they have used violence in recent days against female protesters demanding equal rights. Iran has agreed to allow international inspectors to continue using surveillance cameras at its sensitive nuclear sites. The announcement Sunday averted a diplomatic showdown. The announcement was made after talks in Tehran between Rafael Grossi, who is the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, and Mohammad Islami, the head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran. The talks were aimed at easing a standoff between Tehran and the West, just as it threatens to escalate. Islami told Iranian news agencies that Tehran agreed to allow international experts to replace the memory cards in the surveillance cameras at Iranian nuclear sites. The cameras exist under the joint authority of the international and the Iranian nuclear agencies. This was Rafael Grossi's first visit to Iran since hardline President Ibrahim Raisi took office in August. U.S. weather authorities warned on Sunday that Tropical Storm Nicholas will bring heavy rain and potential flash flooding to parts of the U.S. Gulf Coast. Some of the heaviest rain from the storm is expected to fall in areas of Louisiana recently devastated by Hurricane Ida. Any heavy rain or flash flooding will further impede efforts to rebuild homes and infrastructure in that area. Coastal areas in Texas and Louisiana are expected to see 12 to 25 centimeters of rainfall in the next few days. The National Hurricane Center said. The center also issued hurricane watches and storm surge warnings for parts of the Texas and Louisiana coast. Louisiana Public Service Commission says a little over 6% of the homes in Louisiana are still without power 2 weeks after Hurricane Ida. U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy on Sunday defended President Joe Biden's new directives requiring millions of workers to get vaccinated against the coronavirus under the possible threat of losing their jobs, although there is widespread opposition from Republican state governors. Murthy told ABC's This Week that the step is not unusual, but instead is an appropriate response. With about 150,000 new Delta variant coronavirus cases and 1,500 more deaths being recorded daily in the United States, Biden last week directed businesses with more than 100 employees to mandate vaccinations for their workers. Employees who refused to get vaccinated would undergo weekly testing for COVID-19. The president also ordered about 2.5 million federal workers employed by the national government to get the shot if they haven't already. He ended a previous option for government employees to opt out of vaccination in favor of weekly tests. Republican Governor Pete Ricketts of Nebraska told Fox News Sunday that the president's orders are, in his words, an egregious overreach by the national government. He said, "You shouldn't have to make a choice between keeping your job or getting a jab in the arm. There's just a lot of people who don't know what to trust right now." The United Nations Middle East envoy says the UN will begin on Monday to distribute cash aid to thousands of poor families in Hamas-run Gaza under a program funded by Qatar. Qatar has donated hundreds of millions of dollars to Gaza since the 2014 war between the Palestinian enclave's Islamist Hamas rulers and Israel. But another round of fighting in May prompted Israeli and U.S. demands to revise the payouts to ensure that they do not reach Hamas militants. They have since been on hold.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.